This is my 2005 Hyundai Accent. Bought her brand new in 2005, but now she's got about 350,000 miles on her and is having some problems starting. She'll crank, but it takes several tries for her to actually start. Replaced some sensors, but that wasn't the problem. So today we're going to be replacing a fuel pump on this 2005 Hyundai Accent.
So in the 2005 Hyundai Accent, the fuel pump access is underneath the rear seat. So in order to get the bolts out for the back of the rear seat, we're going to need a 12mm socket, an extension, and a socket wrench. So then when you're in here looking at your back seat, we're just going to get inside the car here. Between the seats, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this, it's pretty dark in here, but we're going to, there's a bolt underneath here. I don't know if you can see that. Let me try turning on the flash. There it is. There's one on each side of the car, and there, when you're looking at your seats are pretty dirty, that's embarrassing, but the bolt is right here. Well, you're going to take the socket wrench with the extension, stick it here on that bolt that's between the seat, and we're just going to righty-tighty, lefty-loosey take those bolts out, one on each side of the seat. Now once we've got one bolt out on this side, we're going to come over to the other side of the seat, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Just going to look for that bolt. There it is. And once you have those two bolts out and safely stored on your garage floor, you're going to get back in the vehicle here. And on the bottom part of the seat, there's two little black levers. There's one on this side, and then there's another one right over here on this side. We're going to push those in, and they pop the seat up. And then once your back seat is free, you can just pull it out of the car. Okay, it's still kind of dirty back here, but it's a little bit better. 18 years is a long time to collect debris in your back seat. But this is where the fuel pump is underneath. There's like a goo separating the metal from the metal lid here. You take a screwdriver and pry it up. Underneath here we have your fuel lines and electrical connections. I think it's probably a good idea to put a few rags underneath the fuel lines so we don't make a mess, or at least make as little of a mess as possible. And next we're going to take off this cover here. There are 8 bolts under here. We're going to use an 8mm socket to take them off. And I always go in a crisscross pattern, just like when you're putting on or taking off a tire. Not sure if you really need to do that here, but that's how I'm going to do this. Then we're just going to go ahead and remove all of these bolts. So on my right here we have our new fuel pump. On the left we have our old fuel pump. And the new one comes with the cover plate already attached, and it comes with a new rubber O-ring or gasket that we're going to put on. Now we're ready to install the new fuel pump in the vehicle. Just gonna make sure all our hoses and lines here are out of the way. Be very careful not to bend or damage anything putting this in. And then once it's in, you want to take all the covers off, reconnect all your hoses, your fuel line. And then for this one, just make sure you push on the tabs on the side, make sure it doesn't fall off. Next we're going to reinstall all of our screws, and then installation is just the reverse of removal. Now that we've got all our screws put back in, all our connections together, let's give her a start real quick and see how it works. Oh, that works a lot better. We're gonna stick the cover back down on here. Seems to hold in place pretty well. Now we just gotta put the seat back in. Pull the seat belts out. And then once we have the seat belts pulled out there, we're going to come down here and make sure that that little tab is lined up with the hole there. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to push those down, and then we're going to find our bolts and we're going to put them back in the corners of the back seat. And we'll get our 12mm socket again. You can kind of see in here maybe where the hole is. I don't know if I can get a good picture of this. Okay guys, this is really hard to see. But you can see a little speck of light coming through there. That's where we're going to put the bolts back. Alright, that's nice and snug in there. It's kind of hard to film and do this one-handed. I'm not going to film the other one. If you got it out of there, you know how to put it back. Alright, we've got the rear seats reinstalled. Fuel pump seems to work. The car starts. Looks like my little Hyundai here is ready for her next adventure. My Hyundai and I want to thank you for watching our video. It's the first one we've made together and the first one I've made where I've been on camera, so hopefully it wasn't too awful. Leave your comments, suggestions, criticisms down in the comments and let me know what you think. Bye guys!